I once had a NDE. I was sick for a few months, and on the day I was supposed to die, I had this death feeling inside me. I called my mom and younger brother and told them I wasn't feeling well, and if anything happened, they shouldn't worry too much as I would be fine. I told my brother to look out for Mom when I was gone, and that they should keep themselves safe and always be happy. I was brought up in a Christian family, and my mom would invite our family friends and neighbors over for devotions and to spend the night at our home. I had been bedridden for a week by then. At around 5 p.m. that day, I asked Mom, my brother, and uncle to pray for my forgiveness. We prayed once for about 20 minutes, and then I asked that we pray again a second time. Our prayer point was to ask the Lord to forgive me for all my sins. When the time came, it was past 6 p.m., and I honestly felt ready to die, but was a little sad for my mom, who was beside me, crying and begging me not to leave. This brought tears to my left eye as I was her first child and her golden one. I was 28 years old at that time and single. I felt death creeping up from my feet. That was when I started saying my last prayer, thanking him for everything he had done for me. While praying, I could see my life flashing before my eyes from when I was a kid. This was what I last said to the Lord at that time. I'm ready for you to take my soul. If my time is up, so be it. At that moment, I literally felt my soul leave my body and slowly ascend into the sky. I could still faintly hear Mom crying. Suddenly, out of nowhere, angels held my hands and brought my soul back into my lifeless body. There was no conversation between us. They smiled, left, and flew away. That was when I woke up. I opened my eyes, cried, and hugged my mom tightly. I felt cleansed, my soul was pure, and I felt much lighter. I could feel blood running through my veins, my eyes were sharp and brighter. My mind was fresh and pure. I just felt different, a feeling I haven't felt since. This story was shared by Anonymous and happened some time ago. Story 2. I would like to share my experience publicly for the first time. I have been asked to speak in churches, but I wasn't ready. Not everyone has to die to go to the other side. When I was 16, I was very angry at God. I hated him for the life he gave me. So I practiced witchcraft and lived a very questionable life. Through all this, I always loved Jesus. I can't explain it. I separated him from God. I was nowhere near knowing the Bible. Jesus was just always there. One night while sleeping, I awoke abruptly from a feeling like when you go down a hill on a roller coaster. I was surrounded by darkness, yet I could see. I looked down at myself, and I had a silver-blue lining around me. I was looking at my soul. I felt the same as a person. Next thing I knew, I was being pulled down again by a very strong force gripping me. It stopped, and I heard cries of great sorrow, millions of them. In this state, the soul is not held back by flesh, so thought is instant. I knew I was going to hell. I looked up and saw a pinprick of light, and I instantly raised my hand toward it and cried out, "Jesus!" Instantly the grip let go, and a horrifying roar was let out. All the souls in hell cried out louder. I soared toward that light with a speed like none I had ever seen. I hit that light, and instantly I was enveloped in the most beautiful pink and gold space. It was warm and secure. To me, it was like the womb of heaven. The next thing I knew, I was back in my body. I took a big breath of air, sat straight up, and cried out, "I just went to hell." Unknown to me, a few weeks later, I would be standing in a church giving my life to Jesus. This event is burned into my soul and mind. I will never forget any detail. It took quite a few years for me to fully turn my life over to God. It didn't happen overnight. The thing is, once Jesus was allowed to enter my life that night, he didn't give up on me. As I said, I had a lot of baggage and really didn't fully understand what a beautiful gift was given to me that night for another 24 years. Yes, there is a hell. Yes, there is a heaven. Yes, there is the chasm. If you believe in God or Satan, you have to believe the other exists. There is no one side. Thank you for allowing me to finally share this publicly. This story was shared by Mamir. Story 3. My NDE happened when I accidentally overdosed on alcohol and sleeping pills. I immediately saw what I would describe as a gratitude reel. All the things in my life, my daughter, my friends, everything that I had to be grateful for. Then I was taken to an elevator and the doors opened. Inside was a group of Italian gangsters dressed in zoot suits. They looked dangerous. One of the gangsters looked like Al Capone, and as I stepped towards the elevator, he put his hands up and said, "You don't want to go this way, no, no, no." Immediately, I became afraid and begged to wake up. I cried, "God, wake me up," because I thought it was a dream. Instantly, I shot up out of the building I was in and into the night sky, which was so beautiful beyond words. I landed, so to speak, on a canopy, and there was my Aunt Kathy, who had just died of COVID, my cousin, still alive, and my mother, still alive. They were holding orbs of light in their hands, and I understood that what they were holding was their life's purpose. My aunt's purpose was to be there for her children. My mother's was to protect me. Written inside the orb was, "Protect Kari Lal," just like it were written in a text message. I could not see my own purpose or my cousin's because we are still alive, but I knew it was good. The voice of God said to me, "Leave it all here, Kari." At that time in my life, I was struggling with anger over sexual abuse I experienced as a child. I was angry at my mother for not protecting me. I was also becoming quite the gangster myself with my behavior, which is why I had a choice to go with the gangsters in the elevator or not. I chose God. When I chose God, I was gifted with the vision of purpose in life. After God spoke, "Leave it all here, Kari," I shot further into outer space and then saw what I believe was heaven. It was just a glimpse. It was amazing. Then my physical body woke up. When the air hit my lungs, it was like I had never breathed air before. It hurt deeply. I went to the bathroom and my skin was blue. As I breathed, it was obvious that I had not been breathing. Since this NDE, I am no longer angry, and all my gangster behaviors have stopped. I am immensely more grateful now. This story was shared by Kari Cronstead,